You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our first Cabral House Call of the weekend, we're going to get right into your questions because once again, we've had a very busy week. We've had a lot of questions come in over the past couple weeks. I still have not caught up. So if you haven't had your question answered yet, apologize. You will. You absolutely will. Today's questions are going to come in from basically a week before. So these all came in around October 10th to maybe the 18th or so, like that week, the 17th, 18th. And then if so, again, these are all being answered then. If you asked a question in September, though, or the first week of October, it just means we missed it. So feel free to send that back in again. All right, so let's get into your questions. We're going to start off today with Rebecca. Rebecca is asking, hi, Dr. Cabral. Love your podcast. Thank you so much for all the helpful information you provide. I have several questions I'd love to ask, but here are my top three for now. All right, so I'm going to really rapid pace. I'm going to go right through these. We're going to get a lot of information to Rebecca as well as everyone else out there. So what are your thoughts on digestive enzymes? After trying the GAPS, low FODMAP, and other elimination diets, as well as probiotics, digestive enzymes are the only thing that have really helped my bloating and distended stomach. It hasn't cured me of it, but has significantly reduced it so that it doesn't occur every day. Okay, well, Rebecca, digestive enzymes are fantastic. Almost every human alive could benefit from them. And so here's what I want you to do. Just if you didn't check it out, yesterday's show was all about digestive enzymes. So this wasn't planned. This is just really great timing. I don't want to answer this really in depth. Digestive enzymes are fantastically phenomenal. So just go to episode 265, stephencabral.com/265. Or if you're ever behind, just go to stephencabral.com/podcasts and you can find every episode that I've ever done. And do feel free to check those out. So why hasn't it completely cured you? Well, the reason is, Rebecca, most likely you have a candida or bacterial overgrowth or H. pylori overgrowth or Clostridium difficile overgrowth. So I've read over your question and it looks like you're working with a functional medicine doctor. I highly recommend the two of you send out for an organic acids test. Look for yeast, look for fungal overgrowth, look for bacteria. Eliminate that, and then you will no longer have to worry about even using enzymes if you don't choose to, because there'll be nothing to ferment. There'll be nothing to cause bloating because there'll be no more yeast or fungus or bacteria to react to the foods that you're eating. So hopefully that helps. All right, your second question is, have you heard of longevity coffee? If so, do you recommend it? I tried eliminating coffee, but I still enjoy it every once in a while, especially that it's getting cold again. Is 1 cup a day okay? So, well, I have not heard of longevity coffee, but I don't think you need to get caught up in the hype. Look for a good quality organic coffee from a single source that is not sprayed. That's basically it. Don't worry about, maybe longevity coffee is the greatest thing that has ever been introduced to our population. It very well could be. I don't know that. But what I want to tell you is this, is like, we don't all have to buy the specific brands because we can choose based on our palate. A lot of people like different acidities in their coffee and they like a cold brew. They like all sorts of different things. So if you love coffee, first get your adrenals back in proper working order, get your thyroid in proper working order, and then everyone, for the most part, can enjoy 1 small cup black or a little bit of nut milk added in the morning because that's going to spike cortisol, and cortisol, if it's going to be high any time of the day, should be in the morning. However, if you have adrenal-based issues, if you have blood sugar-based issues, if you have anxiety, panic attacks, depression, any of those things, do not drink coffee. Do not drink anything with caffeine because it's going to spike and exacerbate all of those issues, and it'll be very difficult for you to recover. I eliminated coffee for quite a long time. I repaired my adrenals. My endocrine system is now working fantastic. And so now I can enjoy a cup of coffee, one small one in the morning if I decide to. And again, it's not a thing that I have to have, but if I want to enjoy a cup of coffee, I do. All right, so hopefully that answered that question. And we will get to your other ones later, but honestly, the ones that I just recommended, they also tie into your later ones. You need to find out what's going on with your gut. There's something going on with your gut when you have a distended stomach, when you're feeling bloated. There is serious digestive issues there, and that's because something's fermenting, something's reacting to the foods you eat. So yes, it could simply be weakened digestion, but most likely there's something growing in there. We need to remove it. All right, let's go to Donna. Donna is next. I want to answer her question. This one came in, another really great one as well. So let's go over that right now. Donna asks, I've recently been introduced to your podcast and I'm finding them timely, informative, and enjoyable. I'm having a particularly challenging time right now from all directions. This evening, I was having a pity party. Your podcast popped into my head. I gave myself the 10X test and reminded myself to be thankful things aren't worse and to focus on creating a positive change. My question about supplements is something I've wondered about for a long time. So let me just talk about that first part. Donna, thank you for sharing that. I mean, think that's fantastically well, because a lot of people think that myself or maybe another expert guru in the field, whatever you want to call it, is, literally living in sunshine and rainbows all of the time. And that's just simply not the case. That's, if you really do feel that way, you are not part of the human experience. There's probably something wrong. We all have highs and lows. We don't control everything around us, right? What if there's something going on with our family? What if there's something going on with work or something we care about, a project or whatever it might be? That affects us. But we have to remember is this, like you said, it can be worse. We have to have what I call perspective and gratitude. Perspective of where we're at now in the grand scheme of things are probably pretty good. They honestly are. Compared to what? Compared to what it could be. It could be a lot worse. Be grateful for where you're at now. Are you happy that you're struggling? No, absolutely not. Nobody's happy that they're struggling. You shouldn't be. That's not normal to feel that. Now, the second part is we need to change our response to stress. We know that we're going to be stressed in life. That's impossible to get away from. However, our response can be better. We can take a deep breath. We can respond more appropriately. So thank you for sharing that, Donna. Now, your other part of the question is, my question about supplements is something that I've wondered for a long time. When is the optimal time of the day to take them? Morning, midday, or before going to bed? So really important question. And you know what? They're all important. And here's why. Too many people and too many health practitioners, this is when I do mentoring for other health practitioners, I'm teaching them that some products, some even minerals are more catabolic, better taken during the day. Some are more anabolic, better taken at night. Some vitamins produce energy, like think about B vitamins. You want to front load your day with them. And think about magnesium. You want to backload your day with them because it's a natural sedative. So how do you know when to take it? Well, you just have to know what supplement it is, what it's doing. Is it meant to calm you down? You can take a little bit during the day and then most of it before bed, right? To really get into that deep sleep. Is it energizing? Is it an adrenal-based adaptogen? Take it in the morning with breakfast. Is it a multi-B, like the activated B that I recommend? Then you're going to take that with breakfast and maybe with lunch, probably not before bed because it could give you too much energy. So think about it like that. Now, digestive enzymes, when do you take those? Well, you're going to take them sometimes away from food if you need to digest and break down whatever's in the gut and the bloodstream, or most likely you're going to take those enzymes, like I recommended on Friday, you're going to take them with meals, whole food meals to break down the food. So really hard to make that recommendation because on my wellness plans that I create for people, some things are taken in the morning when you wake up and before bed. Those have to be taken away from food because we don't want food interfering with their digestion. And then others are taken with food time throughout the day. So, is it a little bit complicated? Yes, but really not that bad. Not too bad to think about what you're doing. If there's a specific question about a specific supplement, I'm happy to answer that for you in the future. Just keep in mind, most supplements are best taken all at once mid-meal. Can you get, little nitpicky and say, well, I want to take my digestive enzyme 10 minutes before meal? Yes, but if you're taking a handful of vitamins, it's just great that you're doing that in the first place. We don't need to get overwhelmed with that. So hopefully that answers that question for you. And Erin is up next. Erin is asking, hi, I'm a 26-year-old female. 2 years ago, I got in a car accident that fractured my L1. And so for those people who don't know what L1 is, that is a vertebrae in the top of the lower back where the thoracic part of the spine, the mid-back, starts to meet it. So think about where your back starts to curve on the lower back. That's where L1 is, right at the very top. And a car accident injured that vertebrae and potentially injured that disc. So ever since then, I've not felt the same, and all doctors have done is prescribe pills that block pain receptors. I am struggling with intense leg spasms almost every morning. They last 10 to 30 seconds and are very painful. It has not seemed to get better, even with working out, occasional stretching. I eat a lot of potassium, which only temporarily helps. Maybe one day and the muscle cramps are back. What can you suggest? Okay, so Aaron, I want you to do this first. Before I would make nutritional supplement recommendations, do go on an anti-inflammatory based nutrition plan. From all angles, you want to attack inflammation. Eliminate gluten, eliminate dairy. Those are your first big ones to eliminate. So do that first. Try to eliminate alcohol at the same time for a period of about 3 weeks. Try that. You can try things like turmeric or curcumin to lower. They are natural anti-inflammatories. They are natural Advil. They are COX enzyme inhibitors. They work great, but you do have to take quite a bit, about 3 grams per day of those. You could take bromelain. That has been shown to help as well. But really before, you can definitely do that. Those are just initial recommendations. I want you to see a very good chiropractor or someone that deals with what's called ART, so active release technique, and also muscle activation. So I want someone who's not going to just adjust your back. I want someone who's going to make sure that you're in proper biomechanical alignment. Some very good personal trainers like we have at our wellness center. I mean, I wish you were in Boston. I would set you with one of our fitness professionals who are very good at this as well. So just find someone who knows what they're doing in terms of biomechanical alignment. I want them to foam roll your hips, and I want them to foam roll your thoracic back of everything above and below this injured vertebrae. And I also want them to stretch your hamstrings and hip flexors. So the hip rotators, we're going to foam roll those. We're going to stretch the hammies, the hip flexors. And I'm telling you, that's going to take the pressure off of your spine because most likely right now, you are in what's called either an anterior or posterior pelvic tilt. I can't go through all of that right now, but someone who's very good at this in your area can do that assessment. So Aaron, hopefully that gets you started. I do hope that you're feeling well at 26. I know that you don't have to live with this for the rest of your life. You can figure this out. All right, and our last question is from Anonymous. Anonymous is asking, "Hi Stephen, I have a toenail infection in both big toes, and both toenails have come off now. Is it unusual to have both toenails infected? I don't know how or why this happened. A new nail is growing underneath, but I'm not sure if the infection has gone. What is the best way to treat this? I have read topical or oregano oil may be good." Okay, so a couple different reasons. 1, you could have a fungal-based infection. 2, you could have a psoriasis-based infection under the nail that will push the nail actually off, that will break that adhesion, and that's an issue to actually deal with. And that's why oregano oil, thyme oil, tea tree oil, or a lot of the essential oils will help kill that infection if it's just topical based, okay? So absolutely do try that, without a doubt. Grapefruit seed extract, GSE, works fantastically well as well. So you could use a combination, you could just use one. They work great. Do try that, okay? It could be coming from your gut. So I just want you to know that if you also have digestive issues, you should run something called an organic acid test. I know I've recommended this in the past, and that's because this is a simple urine test you can do right at home. You literally just wake up one morning, collect your urine, mail it to the lab. I get the results. I read it personally. I give you my recommendations, and you talk with our holistic health coach for 30 minutes. Like, it is personalized service. So, but if you're not having bloating, if you're not having any other skin issues, this could be an actual infection that you got from, again, it's on both toes, so very strange. How else could it happen? Well, it could happen if you're a runner or you are someone where you're doing repetitions or maybe wearing spin shoes, which are very tight, and your toes, your big toe, is actually banging up against the shoe. It's possible that can actually cause those nails to get infected and come off. That's one possibility. So check that out. Look into that. And that both of those are absolute possibilities. Yeast, fungal overgrowth, psoriasis under that nail, or also an actual injury to both of those big toes. And that's something like a repetition. So a lot of spin, a lot of running, a lot of something where your big toes hitting up against the front of the shoe. And sometimes if you're a female asking this question, high heels or solid base shoes, it's too binding for the foot, and that can cause it as well. So hopefully this answers your question. Really great questions today. I mean, I thought they were fantastic, really coming from a lot of different angles. I know that people have been doing their homework, really looking into a lot of things. You know, when I see people saying things like topical oregano oil, I know that they've been doing their research and doing a little bit of homework. Hopefully I can just customize it a little bit more for you. Thank you everyone for tuning into the Cabral HouseCall HouseCall. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow answering 4 more of your questions. I'm looking forward to that. Have a great weekend. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.